Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Screenstars and welcome to another top 10 list. Well, after all the recent Tom Hardy content that is being released, we've got Mobland, we've got Havoc. It seems to be everywhere at the minute. It got me thinking, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to do my top 10 favourite Tom Hardy movies. Now, as I always say on these top 10 lists, you know, this is my personal preference. I'd love to know in the comments what your favourite Tom Hardy films are. And I'm not necessarily saying these are what I think are his best performances, because if I was doing that list, it might look a little bit different. These are just films that I enjoy watching and I continue to enjoy watching, and that will kind of always be the case. I just think they're all very, very fun and entertaining films. So I hope you enjoy checking out this list, and thank you very much for watching.
What the hell are you? We are Venom. On second thought, please.
So, coming in at number 10 on the list, I'm putting Venom. Now, while it's perfectly fine to say that the Venom films might not have been particularly critically acclaimed, every single one of them has been profitable and audiences generally had a good time with them. And that's certainly the case with the first one. Again, it might not have given everything exactly what they wanted out of Venom, but there's no denying that Tom Hardy gave a great performance in this film, a very good physical stroke comedic performance, and he voiced the Venom and everything like that. So it was the whole package. And I know from like watching interviews with Tom Hardy, he had a great time making the Venom films, and he's got a lot of affection for them as well. So he probably doesn't mind so much that they've not been particularly critically acclaimed. He's probably made an absolute packet full of money out of them, and he's made 3 reasonably entertaining films, with the first being the strongest for sure. So that's why it's at number 10 on my list. Now, I've put at number 9 on my list his most recent outing, the new Netflix film, Havoc. I had a great time watching this film. It's an ultra-violent, old-school action film made by Gareth Evans, who is, just brilliant at making these sort of films. Tom Hardy is brilliant in it. He gives a strong acting performance and an even stronger physical performance. And you could tell he fully committed to this role, and he delivered a very, very entertaining action film. Is it completely, is it in depth, is it intellectual or anything like that? No, it's not. It's just a fun time, really good action film, and I had a good time with it.
You're in. But just you. You gotta leave your friends behind.
Now, coming in at number 8 on my list is The Bike Riders. Now, this came out last year, and while you wouldn't describe this as a Tom Hardy film because he doesn't get top billing, that goes to Jodie Comer and Austin Butler. In my opinion, he's really, really good in this film and is a standout. He plays Johnny, who is the leader of the local motorcycle club. He gives a very committed performance, at times very dark performance, and he is, one of the highlights of this film. And I think this is a film that not enough people saw when it came out. It's a very, very good period piece, and one that I would strongly recommend if you haven't seen it.
He's dying, for God's sake! Don't do that! Don't do that!
He's in agony. I'm waking him up.
No, it won't wake him up.
What do you mean it won't wake him up? When we die in a dream, we wake up.
Not from this. We're too heavily sedated to wake up that way.
Right, so what happens when we die?
Now, next on my list at number 7 is Inception, the outstanding Christopher Nolan film that came out in 2010. I can't believe it's 2010. the brilliant science fiction action film that, again, Tom Hardy is not the main character here. This is a Leonardo DiCaprio film, but he offers a great deal to this film. He plays Ames, and it's got quite a few collaborations from different actors here, and he gives a great deal to this film. This was one of those films, I think, that kind of got him back into Hollywood after his outing in Star Trek sort of thing. It seemed like he kind of went on a downward spiral for a few years, started making some movies, coming back, and, this kind of opened, I think, a lot of doors for him back in Hollywood, this film. So it's an important film for Tom Hardy, but it's also just a really bloody good film too.
Now y'all ought to know better than to come around here when Howard's been on the stump whiskey for a few days. I think you might want to get out of here. You give my regards to Special Deputy Rakes. Oh, yeah.
Now, coming in at number 6 on the list is Lawless. This came out in 2012, and I think this is one of his most underrated films. It's got a brilliant cast. So alongside Tom Hardy, you've got Shia LaBeouf, Guy Pearce, Jason Clarke, Jessica Chastain, and we've got Gary Oldman. I mean, it's a really, really great cast. And it's another period piece. It focuses on the Depression era. Tom Hardy, plays one of 3 brothers. He's kind of their leader, and they've got to kind of make their own way through bootlegging, and they come up against the law basically, and it's just a brilliant film. It's got some great moments in it, it's got some great set pieces in it, but it's also got a really fantastic central performance by Tom Hardy. But also it's worth pointing out that everybody else in this film is really, really good as well.
No one cared who I was till I put on the mask.
If I pull that off, will you die?
It would be extremely painful.
You're a big guy.
For you.
Now, at number 5 on my list, I'm putting The Dark Knight Rises, the third in the Nolan Batman trilogy. I think, in my opinion, one of the greatest trilogies of all time. This sometimes is kind of looked at as the weaker of the 3. I could sometimes understand that, but I also think this is an outstanding film that finished off the trilogy absolutely brilliantly. And Tom Hardy gave a fantastic villainous performance as Bane. He absolutely pulled it off. He made some really interesting creative choices that a lot of people raised a few eyebrows at the time, his acting or performance choices. But I think his performance on this film has aged very, very well indeed. And I think he comes off as a really fantastic villain with a very, very committed performance, and I just think it's brilliant.
What was that? I don't know. Well, we just have to. We'll have to wait.
Now, coming in at number 4 on the list is probably a favourite of many people that follow Tom Hardy. It's Bronson. This came out in 2008. This was one of those films and performances that really put Tom Hardy on the map. It's an outstanding performance. If you don't know who Charlie Bronson is, he's a real-life person. He is described as the most notorious criminal in the English prison system. He's still in jail now. He still can't get out. And this film kind of dramatizes his journey to getting into prison and some of his exploits while he's in prison. It's an incredible performance by Tom Hardy. It borders on absurd at times and completely over the top, but it is very, very Charlie Bronson. There are many clips on YouTube of Tom Hardy being interviewed about this film and him talking about getting to know Charlie Bronson while he was in prison, and there's interviews with Charlie Bronson as well talking about the film and all this kind of stuff. He's a fascinating person, and the film is outstanding. There are some really odd, I don't know, artistic choices in the film that I think are a bit odd, but as a central performance by Tom Hardy, there's a few that in his career are finer than this one. It is just a really, really great film.
What is that?
Yeah, what do you think, Puff? It's a fucking tool.
No, it's not. It's a fucking rolling pin. Who are you, Fanny Craddock? What are you do with that? You gonna bake me a cake? You gonna sing me a song? Watch me blow out me fucking candles? I come here for a fucking shootout, right?
So coming in at number 3 on the list is his 2015 film Legend, where he plays both the Cray twins. Everybody in the UK know who the Cray twins are. They were legendary gangsters in London in the 60s, and this film has Tom Hardy portraying both the brothers, Ron and Reggie, and he does it stunningly. The film is, alongside Bronson, if you like, arguably his strongest performance, because he gives both the brothers their own very clear identities. It's great performance for both the characters, but the film itself is just so brilliantly done, endlessly quotable, and at times absolutely hilarious, but also ultra violent. A great film. This is definitely one of those films that I revisit quite often because it's just a really, really good film to watch. And if you haven't seen Legend yet, wow, you really, really do need to.
Max. My name is Max. That's my name.
Coming in at number 2, it is Mad Max Fury Road. One of the purest and greatest action films ever put to screen. Tom Hardy taking over the duties of Mad Max from Mel Gibson. Charlize Theron as Furiosa. I mean, it's just an outstanding film, regardless of whether Tom Hardy is in it or not. However, he is blessed to be in it. He does a great job. He captures the soul and spirit of Mad Max, the character that is renowned for not saying a great deal. And I think he really did get the essence of the character here. We're all desperate to see him return as Mad Max. There are rumblings that is going to be happening fairly soon. People are constantly asking him in interviews, and he kind of won't be drawn on the subject. But I'm fingers crossed he will return as Mad Max soon, and hopefully it will be just as fantastic, visceral, and brilliantly done as this one as well. There are many stories of how Tom Hardy was a bit of a struggle on set because he thought it was going to be a shit show basically by the end, and he was so humbled by the end product that he was endlessly apologetic on like the promotional tour of the film and stuff, because he didn't think the film was working. He thought it was going to be chaos, and how is it ever going to be made into a real film that anyone's going to watch? And he was just blown away by how it all kind of came together. Brilliant film, great addition to the Mad Max franchise, and let's hope we get another one very, very soon.
No, he's just some old vet that I train with. He means nothing to me. And what I hear, he means nothing to you either. You got balls talking about forgiveness.
Now, coming in at number 1, for me, the best Tom Hardy film out there is Warrior. The definitive mixed martial arts movie, the Rocky of mixed martial arts movies. An outstanding film. The fight scenes are done expertly, and yet it's absolutely edge of the seat stuff, and I really do mean that, nail biting edge of the seat stuff that you are completely drawn into. But the characters here are so brilliantly developed. You've got Tom Hardy as Tommy, the younger brother who has come out of the Marines. He wants to win this massive UFC tournament. He is very, very brutal and skilled fighter, but he's also his younger brother, his older brother, played by Joel Edgerton, Brendan, who's also entering the same tournament. They're both estranged from their father, played by Nick Nolte, who was a former alcoholic. They're at each other's throats, really, and it's just packed full of career high performances. Nick Nolte, can I just say, in this film is immense. The relationship between him and his two sons is heartbreaking in this film, and it delivers some heart-wrenching moments. There's a scene in this with Tom Hardy and Nick Nolte in a hotel room where Nick Nolte's character has fallen off the wagon, and Tom Hardy, because of something Tom Hardy's character Tommy said to him the night before in the casino, very, very cruel thing he said to him, and it pushed him over the edge. And it is just the most beautiful scene you'll ever watch. And then the very next scene, we're going into like cage fights with real brutality. I mean, it's got everything. It's the full package in regards to a great drama, but it's also a great sports film at the same time. And the commitment that everybody shows in here, this film, in regards to getting in shape and fight in shape and make their performances believable, is second to none. There are interviews out there where Tom Hardy again states that he didn't think he was going to be able to pull this off because of the commitment. He had to do a specific accent. He had to train endlessly to get in shape for this. And then he was up against the likes of Nick Nolte and all that kind of stuff. He didn't think he'd be able to do it. He more than bettered his own expectations. He absolutely nailed this one.